ni pa ga re sa ni sa ga re ga ma pa ma ga ma pa ni sa ni pa ga re sa ni sa ga re ga ma ma ga re sa ni sa re ga ma ga re sa ni sa pa ma ga ma pa ni sa ga re sa ni pa ni pa ma ga ma pa ni sa ma ga re sa ni pa ma ga ma pa ni sa ni pa ni sa ni pa ga re sa ni sa ga re ga ma ma ga re sa ni sa.
Hi guys, can you all hear me now? Am I audible now? Hello, hello, hello. Oh, it is coming now, right? I see. You discover something new about technology every day. Now the volume has to be increased. Yeah, great. Okay, so a great day to check out this documentary. Months back, I had announced that I will do a live reaction video for this documentary made in 1984. Then I remembered that StreamYard used to have horrible audio streaming quality. If you listen to something live on StreamYard, the audience would hear a very, very bad audio quality version of the thing the creator is listening to. Recently, I've come to realize that StreamYard has really improved their audio streaming quality. And so when I had decided that I'll do it, then I thought maybe I'll do it from Google Meet through OBS. That delivers really great audio quality. But StreamYard has increased its audio quality by quite much, and it's still not as good as how it would have sounded if I had done it through OBS and Google Meet. But StreamYard is a lot more convenient. And today is Satyajit Ray's birthday, and today is a great excuse for some political detox anyway, because again, day after tomorrow will either be the most bright day in West Bengal's political history in recent times, or ever, or it will be the darkest day. So why not think of politics at all today? So I especially invite non-Bengalis to watch this with us because it's in English, and the documentary is in English. Satyajit Ray himself speaks in English. The narrator speaks in English, and you'll get basically to check out an incredible portion, a snapshot in time of West Bengal's glorious past and history and stuff. And not even 1920s, 30s, 40s Kolkata. This is like just even 70s and 80s. Okay, this was made in 1984. So even just a few decades back, as in 80s, early 80s at least, Kolkata used to have world-class studios with world-class recording facilities, live orchestras recording and stuff. It was forever there in the south and in Mumbai anyway. But today it's not there in Kolkata anymore. It still exists in the south and in Mumbai as well. And like today, Marathi industry music, which nobody really listens to, it's not Punjabi music or Tamil music or even Malayalam, which is listened to by the entire country. Marathi industry has composers like Ajay Atul who get a budget for their film Sairat to record live orchestra for just two of the songs in the entire movie. They recorded it in LA at the Sony recording stage, as far as I remember, which is one of the two biggest orchestra recording spots in all of Hollywood. Okay. Even though their music is practically regional music, okay, it will be listened to only in Maharashtra and by the Marathi diaspora. And even then, they do such stuff today because they have the budget today. And at one point, we had the budget to do it in our own studios. Today, Tollywood obviously can't think of stuff like this. We'll get to see that kind of music production capabilities of Kolkata, and we'll get to uh, take a peek behind the brains of Satyajit Ray as well, how he thought, how he approached music, how he approached background scoring in general. And since he was a ad agency guy first, then a writer, then a director, then a composer, how that journey came about in his life, all that we will check out in this documentary, which I have watched about hundreds of times since my childhood. Today I'll check it out with you all. The documentary was made by someone called a filmmaker called Utpalendu Chakraborty. 1984. Slevin, bro. After all this time, are you you are seriously asking me this question? Saira Zalaji and Yard Lagla. I've listened to more than probably you have heard it. Okay, I know that melody by heart, and even other stuff by Ajayatul, Natarang Ubha, Khel Mandala, Baiga, Madhumas, Baharlaha Madhumas, all the songs from Maharashtra Shahir. And let me tell you something about Sairaj Zalaji. There's two incredibly fascinating aspects to that song. Okay, there are two complete instrumental sections in Sairaj Zalaji. So the first section is the melody is kind of Indian melody, arranged with first Indian flutes, then Western classical orchestra. The second instrumental melody, instrumental section, where they are sort of doing that village PT thing. Okay, that music is not. It sounds very Indian, but it's actually not Indian. It's actually Celtic folk. Okay, they have arranged it in pure Celtic folk version. That melody, okay, and they are doing PT with that, and they have choreographed that village PT with that Celtic folk piece. Okay, till that this part, it's already pretty fascinating for a Marathi regional music thing, and then that Celtic melody for the second half of that music part is arranged in proper Western classical orchestral way. Okay, because when the drone goes on above that fort or castle facing a lake or river, that's when it turns into completely Western classical music. That Celtic melody is applied as Western classical. That part. And the other fascinating thing is there's a distortion guitar as a power chord in that music. The percussion, which is practically Marathi folk, is also 100% copy paste of any Bengali folk percussion you'll ever hear. Okay. The antara, the percussion that plays along with this melody, you would expect something sweet to play with it, but it's pure dry folk percussion. That beat, that groove is purely Bangla folk. That's pretty fascinating as well. And Yard Lagla is fascinating for countless other reasons. A villager guy running about in the sugarcane trees, and the music is pure Bach, Beethoven stuff. Okay, any other director, any other retired director would have forced their composers to do Marathi folk all of a sudden for that scene, because it's okay. Well, it's a village in Maharashtra, bro. Why would you do Western classical? That's the kind of horseshit briefs we all the time get. But kudos to the director for what's his name? Nageshwara something, right? The director. Him and Ajayatul come up with this sort of an idea. That's what happens when you have wealth in your system, in your economy. You get the courage to think about cool things. Anyway, we'll get back to that soon. Fascinating way to begin this documentary. I like this. No drones back then, okay? What a creepy way. The documentary shows at the beginning, the camera is set in some other building near Satyajit Ray's house, okay? And we slowly zoom into Satyajit Ray's study room, where he is sitting down on an ancient Juno synthesizer composing music. Incidentally, he is composing the same piece that I did a cover of in the intro music today, okay? I did not put on my usual intro music, not the metal version of Akla Chalo Re. Today I did I did this 6 years back, I think. My own version, along with two of my friends, of the Ghore Baire film theme music made by Satyajit Ray, which was based on Eki Labonne Punno Pranaya song by Rabindranath Thakur, which is based on the Yaman Raga. So here we see him composing that very piece, as far as I remember. Check this out. Yeah. He's composing and writing down the notes. So non-Bengalis, he's practically jamming on the piece called Deki Labonne Purnaprane and thinking how to apply this, give a fresh take to it to use as his musical motif for his film Ghore Baire. Ah, that Roland classic synth, vintage. It's written Ghore Baire. He's doing the storyboarding, illustrations, all of which he used to do by himself. Oh, that film also came out in 1984. Yeah. This is the Vande Mataram theme, by the way, for this film. I don't know if other Bengalis here know about this music. Da 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 Vande Mataram. That piece, okay? He's going to compose it from scratch. That's what we are watching him compose right now, and then we'll see the orchestration of this live inside the studio as well. Okay, get ready. So, guys, think of what's going on here. This is the film director who has now entered the studio as the composer. He's talking to his conductor, explaining to him the arrangement. He is then going to conduct it, and accordingly, the live musicians are going to understand it. This is the procedure that goes on in every Hollywood studio every day. This is what goes on in some Bollywood and some Tollywood studios every day as well. Tollywood, I mean the southern studios as well, because not every day do people compose with real orchestras these days, but it happens every day in every Hollywood scoring background scoring studio, obviously. But it never happens today in Kolkata, but it was a norm back then. It's called a timpani. You'll see this in John Williams' live performances as well. Now, Hans Zimmer was the one who brought in the Japanese instrument called taiko, which made things way heavier. Back then, this was the heaviest Western percussions could get, but it was not even required to go heavier than this or lower than this in tune, because back then we did not have subwoofers in every home, right? TV speakers were horseshit, radio. So where are you going to really hear that loud, low boom? So timpanis were enough. And Nilanjan, yeah, even if that Roland is available somewhere, it's going to be only leased out to someone if they really want to use it. Okay, some people do still own these things. They cost millions. Obviously, they are beyond price tags at this point. Like, there used to be a legendary violin maker. Okay, his surname was Stradivari. So the violins he made, they are still available in some princely homes and stuff. in some royal families in Vienna. They're called Stradivari violins. Similarly, Guarneri violins, Amati violins, these were all makers, their surnames. So one of those Stradivari violins was taken as a lease, was rented practically by that Asian-looking woman. She is of Asian background. She's also used to be a physics professor. Now is a full-time violin player. She played with A.R. Rahman in his live DVD called One, and has played in countless Hans Zimmer live concerts as well. She is the one who played all the solo violins in Man of Steel. So if you look at check out the behind the scenes of Man of Steel's strings recording day, or at least the solo violin recording day, you'll see that exact very Stradivari violin. It's taken out carefully, and then you'll see her go bonkers with that tone, and then it's returned safely. You have to pay like hundreds of thousands of dollars just to rent it for one day. That's the kind of stuff these instruments are today. Yeah, I work in Kolkata.
Hey. One, two, three, four. Lovely. Keep going, Raju.
Guys, this recording console, this mixing console is also going to cost about 4-5 crore rupees just for the vintageness of it. These are priceless stuff. Gadgets you are seeing in a Kolkata studio. This was the HMV studio back then. RMHX, yes, I'll check out your comment. Wait. Bought an acoustic guitar a few months back. Finger exercise, open chords, basic strumming. Trying some bar chords also, although it's hard. What to do? Focus on next. Any suggestions? Main suggestion is that start with warm-ups. Otherwise, no point, because your fingers will get injured. Do not miss your warm-ups. 15 minutes warm-up. Total practice minimum every day 1 hour. Otherwise, the next day you'll have to play almost 1 hour extra just to get back to where you were the previous day. So I say do not skip your practice. At least 1 hour every day. Otherwise, no improvement is going to happen. And he's casually smoking a pipe inside the studio. Odin Paul, হ্যাঁ শেখো, কোনো চাপ নেই, কোনো বয়স নেই এসবের. And the other comment you had made was, what were you saying? Yes, I know he composed that song. I posted it in my community tab today.
Ta-da!
So a subtle difference that they were not understanding. Now Satyajit Ray is helping them pick it up. Now he's also a singer as well.
Morning, Kaka. One, two, three, four.
প্রথমে only গানটা।
One, two, three, four.
Check out these 4 violin players sitting face to face to you towards the camera. Check out the stuff they are playing. They are playing something called the tremolos. That's the hardest part to play. They are playing the hardest part because they are going on playing ting 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 ting. Check that out. That creates that tension in this piece.
Like his films, the music of Satyajit Ray is a unique, multi-layered
Now,
blending.
now think of it in context, guys. This sort of music production, these sorts of people are whom we have as our intellectual ancestors in this field in West Bengal, and see where we have come. Tamil music. Think of the greats that have culminated into today's greats in the Tamil industry. Maybe Sid Sriram, even though he is California based, his brain is the culmination of all the greats behind him, before him in the southern industries. Okay, similarly in Bollywood as well. Think of what the fuck we had and where we have come, and hence I dislike comparing ourselves to Bihar. Bihar never. I mean, they had good classical music parallelly up until like 100 years back, but that never culminated into their film industry anyway. So their film industry has not been objectively good in any way, but and they have kept on not being good. This is what we had in even the 80s, and then out of the blue the impact of communism finally enters the film industry, and then we are done. And then mysteriously a jump happens only after Buddhadev Bhattacharya becomes the CM. Then the intellectuals decide, no, this is not perfect communism, let's kick him out. And even in the 80s, Satyajit Ray was not really mainstream production was not Satyajit Ray stuff, but it was pretty damn incredible compared to at least today's stuff. So we were going on improving, and then all of a sudden we hit a cliff. No one has had this cliff jump like the Bengal industry and art and culture scene. Like no other state has had that sort of a jump other than West Bengal. This in 80s, and then think of the stuff we did the 90s onwards. What the hell?
Sense and Indian sensibility. His complete mastery of this art form is the culmination of a long family tradition.
I was born in
Oh
a
yeah,
musical
so the
family.
non-Bengalis who don't know, his father is a legendary poet, author, Sukumar Rai, whose father was the legendary poet, author, Upendra Kishore Rai Chaudhary. And all of them were insanely great composers as well. And his father was great friends with Rabindranath Tagore, who used to come hang out at his home. When Satyajit Ray was a kid, he had received an autograph from Rabindranath Tagore. And guys, smoking is injurious to health. It causes cancer. So you saw him smoke a pipe. You're not going to do that. And I'm going to as well. And it's very bad for health. Do not do it.
My grandfather, Upendra Kishore, was a composer, violinist.
Look at that house. Look at that house. This is all North Kolkata, guys. Those who have not Bengalis who've been to North Kolkata. Ray and Sons, okay? So they were a business family, in some way or the other. Look at that building. And everyone knew, and they are just talking about music and arts, but we know that They were incredibly great at everything. Every subject they studied, every book they picked, even the women in their house. We stand on the shoulders of these people, and we hope to take it forward. But the BBKs of today, they also think they do stand on the shoulders of these people, but they are only bringing all these things down with them to the hellhole called communism.
He played the flute, he played the bhagawaj.
Any hand painted thing you see on screen is either painted by Ubendra Kishore Roy Chaudhary himself or by Satyajit Ray. I'm going to stop interrupting.
He played the flute, he played the bhagawaj.
Slevin, well said. That is what I'm pointing out. I'm never arguing that these things can happen without you being an elite. It can when truly free market capitalism hits and stuff. My point is, why aren't more people elite? And whenever I bring out the aspect of all these people being either Brahmin or Vaidya or Kayastha, I'm never saying they did these things without competence. I never, therefore, argue in favor of reservation. I'm saying, why is it that for 100 years only these three castes will be competent? They are competent. Why isn't the economy in such a way that other people can also become competent on their own? That's the problem with our economy. So yes, these are elite and they must be elite. Without being elite, you can't be good at physics, chemistry, maths, science, Sanskrit, history, Persian, music, violin, pakwaj, and filmmaking and illustration and background scores. That can't happen.
And on my mother's side, my mother's grandfather, Kalinaran Gupta, was a wonderful composer. And it so happens that on my mother's side, practically everyone is a natural singer. My grandmother could sing, and all her sisters could sing. My mother could sing. And my mother's sisters, brothers, and cousins were all natural singers. So I grew up in an atmosphere of music and singing, Rabindra Sangeet and Brahma Sangeet, right from my birth.
So Ananda Loke, Mongola Loke being arranged, played, orchestrated with a tabla, but with harmonies. So check this piece out here. It's beautiful stuff done by Satyajit Ray, obviously.
Singer. My grandmother could sing, and all her sisters could sing. My mother could sing. And my mother's sisters, brothers, and cousins were all natural singers. So I grew up in an atmosphere of music and singing, Rabindra Sangeet and Brahma Sangeet, right from my birth. I have been exposed to Western classical music from a very early age. There were some records of classical music in my house. I don't know where they came from, but I had heard Beethoven's works and some other Western music from when I was a small boy.
He doesn't even know where the Western classical gramophones came into his house from. So yes, I'm good retrowave. Slevin is saying the way his accent has tinge of Bengalia when he said those Bengali words in English sentence. Yes.
I had a gramophone, a toy gramophone, and some small records given to me as a birthday present, which consisted of all of it was Western music, waltzes, marches, and all that. So Western music has never been unfamiliar to me. I was exposed to it, and I had heard it. along with Bengali songs and Bengali music, I was listening to Western music of some kind or other. And it developed into a very serious interest when I was at school, towards the end, when I was 13, 14.
Guys, which school did you go to? Scottish or Mitra institution?
I had a friend at school who came from a fairly well-to-do family, and he also got interested in Western music, and he started buying records, and it was in his house that I was able to listen to music of Bach, Beethoven, Mozart, Tchaikovsky, and others. So I got initiated very, very early when I was at school. When other boys were writing poetry or reading poetry, I was listening to music, reading about it, going to the libraries, because I couldn't afford to buy books.
Okay, North Calcutta, guys. What was that building? Was that the Mullik Palace, or is that the building which is a random building where tuitions are taught and there are a bunch of shops on the way from Esplanade towards Girish Park? If we don't take the right-hand turn, which is that one way that we are not allowed to take in the daytime, this building falls on the left-hand side. Is it that building?
Reading about it, going to the libraries, because I couldn't afford to buy books. And
we had these White House looking buildings everywhere in Kolkata back then. They are in dilapidated conditions today as well. Is that the Baliganj? Oh, yeah. Satyajit Ray studied in Baliganj government, I think. Yeah.
Writing poetry or reading poetry, I was listening to music, reading about it, going to the libraries, because I couldn't afford to buy books, and reading about composers and compositions and musical forms. So it was a very early initiation.
Non-Bengali guys, this is the artwork, the title page for his most famous work, Pather Pachali, Song of the Road.
Well, this was at the time of trilogy. I had worked with Ravi Shankar.
Yeah, all this stuff was composed by Pandit Ravi Shankar.
In Pather Pachali, Song of the Little Road, Ray made a major breakthrough in Indian film music, not only by using the gifts of a classical composer like Ravi Shankar, but also by exploiting them from an essentially cinematic point of view. His collaboration with several classical composers in the next few films created a new idiom of film music in India.
On Jalsa Ghar, I had worked with Vilayat Khan.
Vilayat Khan's son, I think. His name is Shujat Hussain Khan, or his grandson. I keep forgetting. Y'all must check out his work. He used to be my favorite sitar player up until one point. These days it's only Shahid Parvez, but Shujat Hussain Khan is incredible. And I learned guitar in the gharana of the sitar playing of Vilayat Khan. His grandfather or his father, his name was Imdad Khan. I learned in the Imdad Khani gharana for a while. My guitar teacher was trained in that gharana because he could play sitar as well. And his wife is still a sitar player.
And on Baby, I had worked with Ali Akbar. But they had become very busy international composers. They were not always available when I needed them. And I didn't want to dictate other composer. So at the time of Tinkonna in 1960, I think, I decided to try my own hand at composition. It was very difficult to start with, but eventually, in course of time, I managed to acquire some proficiency.
That's his wife Bijoy Rai. Even at that point, their marriage was fascinating to the society because his wife was 5 years older than him, and as a cousin, far-flung cousin, as far as I know. And you'll see Bijoy Rai in all pictures in this pose, casually chilling and listening to her husband make magic.
It was in Teen Konna that Ray
This movie was also based on a work by Rabindranath Thakur.
proved that as film music is one of the components of a film, a director of musical background is the fittest person to do the scoring for his film. From Teen Kunda onwards, Ray employed in each film a theme music to underline its central mood and to suggest a lead motif in the multiplex structure of the film.
Which was practically gone. Then Anjan Datta brought it back to some degrees, but it was so subtle that people could not realize that it was in fact a motif. There are guitar lines that work as a motif in Bong Connection, Madly Bangali, Chalo Let's Go, etc., played by Amit Datta, but leitmotifs became very obviously, very overtly in Baishe Shravan by Srijit Mukherjee. Even in Autograph, but it was most overt in Baishe Shravan, and then onwards everyone started doing motifs again, thank God. No, Nandish, this was when Bengal was about 20 years into the decline, but his movies were being funded by the government, so he was kind of insulated because of his talents and his family name. He was kind of untouched by the economy. Look, what is bro reading? Lord Alfred Tennyson, a deluxe edition. My God, look at that cover. Politically, Arjun Paul, politically, Satyajit Ray was a secular modernist type of a person. He came from a Brahmo Samaji family, so classic Congressy views. And that's Aparna Sen, who 2007-8 onwards has been the biggest supporter of Mamata Banerjee. Yeah, this is Konkona Sen Sharma's mother, by the way, guys. Look at this scene, Marathi people. Look at this scene, a village scene, okay? A girl running through a village scene and pure Western classical music playing in the background, okay? This is what I was talking about in the beginning. This was breaking barriers back then. Back then it was common kind of in all the best of the directors and composers' works in the rest of the country as well, where there were significant film industries, but then all of this disappeared. This was, I think, rejuvenated in Sairat by Ajay Atul and Nagraj Manjule. Because these pieces, they work really well with these moods, no? And by the way, more broadly speaking, all this music is so Hans Zimmer and John Williams stuff, right?
চোখে
And he's using the Dakhore motif repeatedly, which is a song from a different film of his. Yes, he must be compared to Ilayaraja, his music work. But then he was not just a composer; he was also making the movies in which he was doing music like Ilayaraja. That's the insane part.
An increasing stress on natural sounds, and particularly silence, and a sparing use of musical accompaniment are two important features of Ray's music.
1962, guys, when Kolkata was still at its peak, okay, as the economic crown jewel of the country. Check out a movie from that era now. It's called Kanchenjunga, shot in Darjeeling, and we'll listen to a Nepali song now, composed by him, based on usual Nepali folk tunes. It's in Nepali, so if any Nepali viewer is checking this out, check this out. This will be fun. Satyajit Ray composed a Nepali song as well.
লোক আমরা নতুন জেনারেশন তো আমাদের সঙ্গে ঠিক ওনার
আমি আসছি
না শুনুন মনে যেতে আমি তোমায় অনেকক্ষণ ধরে খুঁজছি
জানি বাবু পয়সা আমার দেও না বাবু পয়সা আমার দেও না বাবু
নে তোরই জিত
Non-Bengali viewers, this is one of the late greats of Bengali cinema, Mr. Chobi Bishwash.
গুড ডে স্যার
জগদীশ ব্যানার্জি ব্যানার্জি মনীষা
Another movie now. This was based on Kolkata, so it's called Mahanagar. Kolkata is called a Mahanagar. It's not very Maha right now. We'll make it Maha hopefully pretty soon again in 10-15 years.
এত বড় শহর, এত রকম চাকরি, দুজনের একজনও কি পাবো না একটা?
চেষ্টা তো করি, আমার বিশ্বাস দুজনেই পাবো।
জানো, আজ এত দূর দিয়ে কি আছে কপালে কিচ্ছু ঠিক নেই।
Sorry, I'll rewind and play this scene again because I really love the music here. But this scene will end with a beautiful shot of that Kolkata of that era. But more importantly, the music that's playing right now here, this is the standard classic Satyajit Ray music, okay? Because Sonar Kella and Feluda fans, you all can understand obviously a lot of Sonar Kella type of melodies playing in the background here. So this is what I like Satyajit Ray's music mainly for.
চলো কি পাবো না একটা?
চেষ্টা তো করি, আমার বিশ্বাস দুজনেই পাবো।
জানো, আজ এত দূর দিয়ে কি আছে কপালে কিচ্ছু ঠিক নেই, তবু আমার ভালো লাগছে।
আর ভয় নেই তো?
দেখো,
চলো।
চলো।
Bro, look at this place in 1962. Guys, what a city, 1962. Guys, look what we lost, Bengalis, look what we lost. And non-Bengalis of the entire country, see how much our country's GDP has been fucked because of West Bengal's decline. Everyone has been pulling themselves up by the bootstraps because West Bengal's economy had to be replaced by other cities. If West Bengal had been going up in the trajectory, and then along with it Bengaluru, Hyderabad had come up, we would be at $5-6 trillion today easily. And if the similar socialism if the socialism hadn't happened in West Bengal, because of which the decline would not have happened, then we would not have been exporting that kind of socialism in the rest of the country as well. So therefore, we could be at $10 trillion today. But look at this place. This is not even an indoor cardboard cutout. This was a full single shot. And now listen to the music as well. I love this scene. I'll look at this scene on loop. And I'll right after this live stream, I'll go to a friend's place. I'll go to my who's been on my podcast, showed up, that tech bro guy. He lives nearby this place, somewhat further this place, but I'll take that very road today after this live stream. I'll look at this again, please, and then we'll move on. Sorry for bugging you guys. But this is such a historical research thing going on. Look at it so closely. Look at it very closely. Notice the kinds of things, the kind of social status, the kinds of job opportunities, and the fucking cars on the road on random day in Kolkata in 1962. Oh, guys, by the way, this is Factogram, the star of Jharkhand, whom I've met for the first time in a toilet in Novotel, and then this time we did a bunch of other stuff in Chhattisgarh. This guy has 13 million subscribers. He puts out insane kinds of facts on his Instagram handle. Check out his Instagram handle called Factogram, guys. I don't know. His name is Vishal Prasad. Vishal, tu kya YouTube mein bhi hai? Let us know in the comment section.
Ideally, I think the director should be aware where music would be needed in his film. I'm talking of the ideal situation where it is assumed that the director knows about music, is conscious of music, and also knows where his films would call for music. But of course, the ideal situation doesn't always exist, and you have directors who have very little conception of music, where, of course, he has to depend entirely on the professional composers. And there you have to assume that the professional composer is a competent composer. But in my case, of course, since I've been aware of music from a very early age, and music has been my first love, even before the cinema. And since I do my own composition, I have very set ideas about where music should be used in a film.
Yeah, guys, because remember, the application of silence in a movie is as important for the full, let's say, rush of the film to come out and hit you in the heart, as it is for a particular music to exist in a scene. Silence is as important, and Satyajit Ray understood it really well, and which is why it shook people to their core.
Very set ideas about where music should be used in a film.
Charulata, the most satisfying experience to Ray as a music director. Even the structure of the film, with its subtle inner links, is musical.
Guys, what a shot, huh? What a shot. The song, by the way, is again by Rabindranath Thakur. And thanks a lot for the contribution to West Bengal's GDP, Jharkhand bro. And yes, you are an extremely great person in real life as well. And yes, NEERAJAN SAHA for some reason. Look at this shot, guys. Think of where the camera was set up on that Dolna thing. Wow, wow, wow.
Musical.
After the introduction of sound, in the very early days, there was no music in films. As you can see, if you see the films of early 1930s, there is often no music at all. But gradually, the system of background music came into being, and the professional composers emerged, and big orchestras emerged. And there was a period then in the 40s or late 30s when music, a film would be drowned in music. But even later, after that, of course, a kind of balance was struck, and music was used very, very discreetly. But also at the same time, certain conventions developed, like using a certain kind of music for happy situations, a certain kind of music for sad situations, another kind of music for situations of suspense. And
see the problem with West Bengal. Every time in every decade, it's 2 steps back forward and 5 steps backwards. The problem that he was trying to solve back then, he was looking at a problem, looking at a cliche, trying to break away from it. He was doing that in the 80s, 70s, 60s. That I'm thinking about today again, and I'm noticing that it's finally Aditya Dhar who is doing it. Every problem that had been thought about Bengalis and they had begun work to solving it, all of that was halted. Like you all saw, that discussion between Buddhadev Bhattacharya and Shuman Chattopadhyay in 2002 is the same goddamn discourse we are having today again in 2026. Okay. Now again, that whether should we close PSUs, should we have a bit more free market and stuff, are freebies really good? All of that discourse is back again. We never solve these problems and go ahead and progress and have other problems to solve. Nahi bhai, 40 saal ka pehle ka problem fir se discuss karte hain because we again did not do anything for 40 years. like Kushal said, क्या उखाड़ा है 40 सालों में.
Like using a certain kind of and music was used very, very discreetly. But also at the same time, certain conventions developed, like using a certain kind of music for happy situations, a certain kind of music for sad situations, another kind of music for situations of suspense, and these became formulas, and sometimes lazy composers would use these formulas rather than think those situations afresh. We naturally try to avoid these hackneyed formulas as much as possible, and I think all directors should avoid hackneyed formulas and consider a situation afresh and try to be original and uh, avoid convention, avoid the worn-out conventions.
Yeah, and these conventions are today being broken by Rajamouli, Rishabh Shetty, and mainly by Aditya Dhar. The rules that Aditya Dhar has broken, by if I listed them, the conventions of Bollywood that he has broken, the conventions of all the conventional wisdom stuff in mainstream Indian filmmaking. I really wish Satyajit Ray was alive to see Aditya Dhar's work. No, Retro, you're absolutely wrong. If Anurag Kashyap could, if Maniratnam could, do you think they are less leftists than Satyajit Ray in today's terms that we understand leftists, or do you think Satyajit Ray would have been a bigger coward than Anurag Kashyap and Maniratnam? No, right? So if they did, so would Satyajit Ray. Oh, look at this scene. Oh my god. Oh. What a transition, huh? आके फिर चला गया पीछे आइसलैंडिक एम्बिएंट म्यूजिक चल रहा है डार्क एम्बिएंट
কি ব্যাপার?
দেখো
In my case, of course, I use now music less and less and less.
अपवित्रः पवित्रो वा सर्वाभरताङ्गतो विवाय स्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षं सर्वाभ्यन्तरः शुचिः ॐ अपवित्रः पवित्रो वा सर्वाभरताङ्गतो विवाय स्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्षं सर्वाभ्यन्तरः शुचिः ॐ अपवित्रः
And there are some directors in the West, as an example, Bergman, who hardly ever uses any music in his films.
That's the legend Ingmar Bergman hanging around with Satyajit Ray. Imagine Christopher Nolan hanging around with Raj Chakraborty or Srijit Mukherjee.
But we still do use music, partly because out of consideration for the audience, because sometimes the audience, we feel the less intelligent audience would not be able to comprehend the moods, the changes in mood, and therefore we underline those changes, those moods, by means of background music. But even so, I would say that I use music as discreetly as possible.
Now he's jamming on a piece called Aha Ki Anando Akashe Batashe from one of his earlier great films, one of his best.
Ray's musical genius finds its brilliant expression in the lyrics and tunes
By the way,
composed.
Marathi people will understand this. Of course, this melody is practically Marathi folk as well as Bangla folk. I don't know how the music, the rooted indigenous music of Bengal's regions and Maharashtra is so similar. By what historical mystery? But this is as folk as in Maharashtra as it is in Bengal, and he's playing that in a purely Western classical instrument. That's why it creates such a fascinating soundscape.
Ray's musical genius finds its brilliant expression in the lyrics and tunes he composed for his films.
My first original lyric was written for Devi, but the tune was not my own. It was based on the conventional Ram Prasadi tune. The words were my own.
কোলে যাব না মামা বলে আর ডাকবো না দিয়েছ দিতেছ কতই যাত না মামা বলে
But my first original song, both lyric and tune and orchestration, was for Chiriyakhana. This was the song Bhalobasha Tumi Ki Jano, which is
Chiriyakhana, incredible Bomkesh Bakshi film, by the way, guys. You all know of Bomkesh Bakshi, obviously. Sushant Singh Rajput also played a Bomkesh. And so did in Doordarshan another Bollywood actor. His name I forget. He's a known face. He used to play Bomkesh. And here, the legend Uttam Kumar, the greatest of Bengali heroes, he played the role of Bomkesh. And I think this is my personal favorite Uttam Kumar film as well, because here Uttam Kumar was the most naturalish.
both lyric and tune and orchestration was for Chiriyakhana. This was a
Nandish, the wall behind him is the soundproof, sound-absorbing walls that studios used to have up until like even a decade back. Now the technology is different.
song Bhalobasha Tumi Ki Jano, which is supposed to occur in an old Bengali film. Then I got interested in
A very good question, Yon. If economy is so important, then how does Bangladesh do it? Because they have a coterie of great economy, because the economy is that divided, it's that insulated in the richer sections, because it's completely, almost entirely black economy. Rest of the country is dog poor. And also they have remnants of a past culture, right? Of people who are used to be good at music and stuff, like Miles, arguably the most famous band to have come out of Bangladesh. Both the brothers in the band, Shafin Ahmed and Shamim Ahmed, their father's name was Kamal Das Gupta. He was a music PhD from Benares Hindu University, okay? Those kind of stuff, along with the insulated black economy of Bangladesh, that ensure that they keep making good music. But they can't forever unless their economy recovers now.
in writing. Then I got interested in writing songs and found an opportunity to write several songs when I decided to make a film of my grandfather's short story, Gopi Gain.
Greatest trilogy for children movies of all time. It won't be very relatable to our next generation, but yeah, I think every kid must be shown this movie.
It became an elaborate musical film, and for it I wrote about 7 or 8 or 9 songs. I started by writing some of the songs. Even before I wrote the scenario, I imagined some of the situations that would occur in the film, and I wanted to find out whether I would be able to compose songs for the film. And I wrote 3 or 4 as a tryout, and when it turned out that they were quite satisfactory, I decided to make the film.
So the basic storyline here needs to be explained for this scene to make sense. These two were exiles, okay? One of them was a singer, so Gopi Gain, and Bagha Bain, he was a percussion player. Both of them were exiled from their villages for being very annoyingly bad musicians in their villages, okay? Both are exiled, both meet up, and one day they are given 3 blessings by a king of ghosts. And the blessings were that anytime they sung, everybody would be petrified. Their bodies would just pause around them. They could clap their hands and go to any place they wanted, and they could clap their hands and they could make any sorts of sweets fall from the air. I think those three were the blessings. And this crazy short story was thought by his grandfather, and out of that short story, he made 3 films. The third of which was completed by his son, as far as I remember.
মহারাজা তোমারে সেলাম 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 মোরা বাংলাদেশের থেকে এলাম মোরা বাংলাদেশের থেকে
Sorry for pausing, we'll rewind again. So the scene was a king has organized sort of a music competition, and musicians from all over his kingdom have come. So all of them are competing, all of them have come with their elaborate practice and big teams and stuff, and these 2 random exiles come here and petrify everyone with their music.
মোরা বাংলাদেশের থেকে মোরা সাদা সিধা মাটির মানুষ দেশে দেশে যায় মোরা সাদা সিধা মাটির মানুষ দেশে দেশে যায় মোদের নিজের ভাষা ভিন্ন ভাষা জানা নাই মোদের নিজের ভাষা ভিন্ন ভাষা জানা নাই মহারাজা রাজা মশাই তবে জানা আছে ভাষায় অন্য তোমারে শুনাই ধন্য এসেছি তাহারি জন্য রাজা তবে জানা আছে ভাষায় অন্য তোমারে শুনাই ধন্য এসেছি তাহারি জন্য রাজা মহারাজ মোরা সেই ভাষাতেই করি গান মোরা সেই ভাষাতেই করি গান রাজা শোনো ভরে মনোপ্রাণ রাজা শোনো ভরে মনোপ্রাণ এই যে সুরেরই ভাষা ছন্দেরই ভাষা তালেরই ভাষা আনন্দেরই ভাষা সুরেরই ভাষা ছন্দেরই ভাষা তালেরই ভাষা আনন্দেরই ভাষা ভাষায় এমন কথা বলে বোঝে রে সকলে এমন কথা বলে বোঝে রে সকলে উঁচা নিচা ছোট বড় সমান রাজা উঁচা নিচা ছোট বড় সমান মোরা এই ভাষাতেই করি গান মোরা এই ভাষাতেই করি গান মহারাজা তোমারে সেনা
A legendary scene with a tiger. Now they sing to the tiger so that the tiger remains petrified and their lives are saved. They were trying to get into a fort of an evil king, and they stumble upon a tiger who is about to attack them, who's there for the protection of the fort. Yeah, an incredible piece here, because see, a lot of it might seem funny to you all, but it's a kids movie, therefore. But here, the song application is pure classical, but it's a parody of a would-be classical piece being sung to a tiger. Okay, in a children's movie. That's how great pieces of art these movies were.
গান গাও। গান কই?
Oh yeah, now an insane dialogue, guys. So Bagha says, "Start singing so that the tiger doesn't attack us." And Guppy says, "I can't sing right now. I'm not feeling any song coming out of me because I'm so scared myself."
ছেড়েছে। গান কই? পায়ে পড়ি। পায়ে পড়ি বাঘ মামা, করোনা করাগ মামা, তুমি যে ঘরে কে তা জানতো, তুমি যে ঘরে কে তা জানতো, তুমি ঘরে ঘরে এ ঘরে তুমি যে ঘরে কে তা জানতো, তুমি যে ঘরে কে তা জানতো, এ যে বিনা মেঘে পড়ে বাজ, এ যে বিনা মেঘে পড়ে বাজ, বিনা মেঘে পড়ে বাজ, বিনা মেঘে পড়ে বাজ, কেচে বুঝি গেল কাজ, গেল কাজ কেচে, কেচে গেল কাজ কেচে, কেচে এ যে বিনা মেঘে পড়ে বাজ, কেচে বুঝি গেল কাজ, দয়া করে থাকো হলে শান্ত মামা, কে বা জানতো, তুমি যে ঘরে কে তা জানতো, তুমি যে ঘরে কে তা জানতো, যদি ঘরে এসে বাবা, যদি ঘরে এসে পড়ে পড়ে, যদি ঘরে এসে পড়ে থাবা, ঘরে এসে পড়ে থাবা বাবা, বাবা 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 রে, বাবা রে, যদি ঘরে এসে পড়ে বাবা, কি হবে তা জানি বাবা, হারা যাবে তাজা দুটি প্রান্ত, হায় হায় দুটি তাজা প্রাণ, দুটি তাজা প্রাণ যাবে নারা, আহারে নারা জানি, হারা যাবে তাজা দুটি প্রান্ত, তুমি রে ঘরে কে তা জানতো, তুমি যে ঘরে কে তা জানতো, বাগাদা বাগাদা বলি হীরা নিলে কত শুনি, বাগাদা হীরা নিলে কত শুনি, সময় কি আছে রেগুনি, তবু কত শুনি, নিয়েছি যথেষ্ট, তবে আর নিয়ে কাম নাই, আর নিয়ে কাম নাই, এবারে চলো পালাই, এবারে চলো পালাই, বড় কষ্টে পাওয়া গেছে কেষ্ট, বড় কষ্টে পাওয়া গেছে কেষ্ট, যথেষ্ট যথেষ্ট।
So guys, what was hilarious was the music was purely classical, but the lyrics was absolutely colloquial Bengali, where he's addressing the tiger as Vag Mama and saying, "Please forgive us, we did not know you would be here." And he's talking in an absolutely colloquial way, which is why it's absolutely hilarious. And I wanted to respond to something. Yes, Hirok Raja Deshe, by the way, as Kaushik Gangopadhyay, Professor Kaushik Gangopadhyay, when he came on our podcast about 1.5 years back, he discussed that he actually pointed out how Hirok Raja Deshe was Satyajit Ray's critique of Mao's China. Okay, there are countless वो क्या कहते हैं उसको Easter eggs are spread out in the entire movie, which gives you the hint that it was a critique of Mao's China, and he could not do it much more overtly because of the political times of that era. Do check out our podcast with Professor Kaushik Gangopadhyay on Satyajit Ray and Mao, how he was subtly criticizing Maoist communism. And otherwise, do check out the movie yourself as well for the hints.
His latest experiment in music in Ghore Baire, Home and the World. Like to go in his songs and Ravi Shankar in his instrumental music.
যদি সবাই ফিরে যায় ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা সবাই ফিরে যায় যদি গহন পথে যাওয়ার কালে কেউ ফিরে না যায় তবে পথের কাটা তুই রক্ত মাখা চরণ তলে একলা দলরে তুই রক্ত মাখা চরণ তলে একলা দলরে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে যদি আলো না ধরে ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা আলো না ধরে যদি ঝড় বাদলে আধার রাতে দুয়ার দেয় ঘরে তবে বজ্রা নলে আপন বুকের পাঁজর জ্বালিয়ে নিয়ে একলা চলো রে আপন বুকের পাঁজর জ্বালিয়ে নিয়ে একলা চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো